Hi creative friends, it's Elizabeth Sampson, the Doodle Nurse, and we're just going to set the mood for our drawing today. And as we begin sketching with our pencil, we're going to break everything down into simple shapes for you to be able to complete this drawing. Today we are going to be drawing a watercolor baby fox. What I want you to do is draw exactly what you see and draw this in your own style. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the head, and it's going to be an oval shape. Kind of like if you looked at a lemon, what you would see, this fox's head looks like a lemon when you start off by drawing it. Now the body shape is going to be an oval in the other direction, more vertical, and it's going to have a rounded bottom on it. Now on each side I'm going to create the front legs. I'm just going to follow that oval down till I get to the bottom straight, and I'm going to curve it around so it's flat for where the feet go. And I want to make it a little narrower because if you've ever looked at fox, their legs are really skinny. I'm going to take the oval that I used for the body and I'm going to extend it into the head just so I have a placement where I want to put my nose for this. Again, we use an upside down U for the top and a V for the bottom. And then from that V we extend down, straight line with half on each side, a half a semicircle for the mouth area. Now a fox has a white muzzle, and I'm just penciling in the area that I want to be white here. Little jagged lines for represent the fur, and on the end of the oval shape for the head I'm going to jagged those lines a little bit. You can see this here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Of course, I'm going to give my little fox a tuft of hair. They don't really have this in real life, but I like to make everything my own. And I'll start with the ears, which is basically a triangle on each side of the tuft of hair. And I put the little tufts of hair in the middle of the ear as well. Now I create the ears the same way as I did in our raccoon drawing and some of the others that you see. You can hit them in the description box below or follow the playlist for the watercolor animals. You can see I'm just making the front legs a little bit smaller. As I said, the fox has a very small leg. And I'm going to start with the back legs. Just make a rounded area, kind of like if you wanted to complete a whole oval. You'll see off to the side. And we're going to finish the feet the same way we did for the front legs. And then I'm going to wrap the tail around the body, starting with the back, behind the back leg. And I'm going to bring it around the front and just make that bushy tail go in front of the fox. Now if you look at a picture of a fox, their tails are quite bushy. So mine is going to be bushy here. And as you see, I just changed the direction of the tail that I'm going in. And I make it a little bit wider. Now as I zoom in here, I'm going to start working on the eyes. And the eyes are whatever style eyes you want to do. If you want to do little ovals, little circles, whatever it is. I am going to do an eye with eyelashes like in some of the other tutorials I gave you. And you'll just see it's an almond shape for the eye. And it's on each side of the nose. And it's going to have some eyelashes. And I just felt this little fox needed a little different eye than some of the others that I've drawn. I create inside the eye just a round iris part and 2 highlights for each of the eye. Those will remain white. Now we're going to give it eyelashes, eyebrows, and then on the front legs I'm going to move down and I'm going to make a little jagged line on all 4 legs where the fur changes color, and that area below will be black, and then we'll erase the lines that are inside the tail. So it looks like the tail is sitting in front of the fox, and we'll create a jagged line there as well to show the difference in color between the top part of the tail and the back part of the tail. Same for the top of the ears. Now we're going to head off to our water resistant fine line marker, and I'm going to speed this up so that it won't take as long as the pencil drawing. But I'm using a micro line 02 for this outlining of this little fox. So now you are going to be able to see where exactly I outline this fox and where I'm going to color the different areas. And you'll see that when I put the watercolor pencils on. If you don't have watercolor pencils, use markers, crayons, color pencils, whatever you have, paint, whatever it is you want to use, go right for it. And you can see I don't always go on the lines, but I go pretty close to what I have already drawn in the pencil section. I'm going to give it more eyelashes and a little bit of personality. And you can stop this at the end of this so you can see exactly what it looks like before you continue on. And we go into our watercolor pencils. Now, if you don't have watercolor pencils, use whatever you have, as I said before. And you can see I'm just putting the black points down first with my black watercolor pencil. And I am going to do the eyes with the marker. They'll stand out a little bit better. And I don't want it to bleed into the white areas. So that is why I use the fine line marker for this. And I'll also use it for the nose and put the highlight in the nose area as well. Now I grab my water brush and I just blend in all the black pencil lines that I had put down. And I start in with my color. I'm using several different colors here, an orange, brown, a little bit of red, terracotta color. And I'm just doing layers of color as I go over the fox, and I leave the areas white that are going to be white, and I'll blend in steps, as you'll see here. So the first color isn't the color that stays, it's usually more colors I put on, and you'll see how that works as I put more colors on. Now again, I want you to make this piece your own. You don't have to use the same colors. This could be a gray fox. You could have a purple fox if you want. It really doesn't matter. And the style I draw on is kind of like a color book style. So these little characters are meant to create as you want for your own. Now, if you notice here, the white areas, I do put some white color pencil or watercolor pencil in there, but it really doesn't show up on the paper that well. But you can see I'm starting to put in the highlighted areas, the shadows, and just do what you want to do with your own style, okay? Make this piece uniquely your own. So you can see I'm adding a little green grass underneath my little guy here, just to show that he's not sitting on a void of nothing, but he is on a little patch of grass. And then I'm going to start adding in all the shadows after I blend this in. So I bring out the watercolor brush and just blend in the green areas. I love how this blends. Can you see how the water just takes those lines of the pencils and just blends it in? This is why I like these watercolor pencils so much. There is a little bit more control. It's great for beginners to use. You can put as much water on as you want, and it works out really well for beginners. This is just my thought behind it. But if you want to use regular watercolors and if you've mastered them, then that's great. Use whatever you have. Even color pencils work. So all these watercolor baby animals will be in a future coloring book that I am putting out this year, and you can get the link down below if it's something that you would like to know more about when it comes up. When it is published, there's a list you can sign up for, and I will let you know when it's available. I hope you guys really enjoyed this little fox. If you'd like to submit your drawings to me, I would love to hang them on my website on the YouTube subscriber art wall. So I hope to see you again next week, and thank you so much for stopping in. Make sure to check out these 2 videos here, as well as subscribe for future if you want to learn to doodle, letter, and draw. And I'll see you next week.